Charles Cortese Alderton was born on June 21, 1857 to English immigrants Elizabeth Alderton and Charles Alderton Sr. in Brooklyn, New York. The eldest of five, Charles aspired to follow in his father's footsteps, who worked as a doctor. Charles lived his early childhood years in the States before heading off to Stowmarket, England, where he attended Framlingham College. He later returned to the United States and enrolled in medical school at the University of Texas Galveston, where he studied medicine and received a medical degree. Alderton then moved to Waco, Texas, where he joined forces with his friend, Wade Morrison, and began working as a pharmacist at Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore. The store had a soda fountain which customers would often frequent, but after noticing that customers were growing tired of the same old traditional flavors, which consisted of vanilla, lemon, and sarsaparilla, Charles began experimenting with new concoctions and flavor combinations. He loved the way that the drugstore smelled, a combination of all of the fruit syrups that they carried, so he wanted to create a beverage that replicated that wonderful aroma, eventually settling on a blend that consists of 23 different ingredients, including phosphoric acid to give it a delicious tang. The recipe is so secretly guarded that it is allegedly stored as 2 halves and kept in 2 Dallas safety deposit boxes. The beverage first became available to the public on December 1st, 1885. Customers would refer to the drink as a Waco, and when coming in to order the beverage, they would often say, "Shoot me a Waco," and with that, an ice-cold glass of the delicious soda would be served up. Eventually, Charles and Wade agreed on changing the name of the drink to Dr. Pepper. It is unclear as to how they came up with this name, and there are several rumors surrounding the actual origin and conception of the Dr. Pepper name. Some believe that Pepper was the last name of a former colleague of Morrison's from Virginia named Dr. Charles T. Pepper, and they simply just liked the way that it sounded. The soft drink became a huge success at the local drugstore, and soon after its debut, many soda fountain operators in Waco began buying the syrup from Alderton and Morrison and began serving it at their stores. It had become so popular around town, they were no longer able to keep up with the demand. Charles's primary focus was his pharmacy work, and he had no great interest in furthering the development of his budding product. So he made the decision to hand the reins over to Wade Morrison and a young beverage chemist named Robert Lazenby, who had previously tasted the drink and expressed how impressed he was by the unique and delicious flavor profile of the popular soda. Morrison and Lazenby were very happy with the growth of Dr. Pepper, and in 1891 they formed the Artesian Manufacturing and Bottling Company. On April 30th, 1904, St. Louis played host to the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, also commonly known as the St. Louis World's Fair. Robert Lazenby and his son-in-law, J.B. O'Hara, introduced Dr. Pepper to the almost 20 million people that attended the fair during its span from April 30th to December 1st, 1904. In 1906, they had a 3-story bottling facility built in downtown Waco on the corner of 5th and Mary, where they began shipping out large amounts of their delicious soft drink. From 1910 to 1914, Dr. Pepper was known as the King of Beverages, and by 1923 they had changed the name of the company to the more formal Dr. Pepper Company and moved their operations to Dallas, Texas. Throughout the 1920s and 1930s, a country doctor character with a monocle and a top hat called Old Doc was the Dr. Pepper trademark character. During those years, a research study was done proving that sugar provides energy and that the average person experiences some fatigue around 10:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., and 4:30 p.m. So the Dr. Pepper Company held a contest for the creation of an ad using this new information. The winner of the ad campaign came up with the advertising slogan, "Drink a bite to eat at 10, 2, and 4." Throughout the next few decades, there were many creative and successful ad campaigns, even one that might cause a bit of a heated debate: Hot Dr. Pepper. In 1956, Wes B. Parker became president of Dr. Pepper and introduced a heated version of the famous soft drink. Just heat Dr. Pepper in a saucepan until it steams, then pour it over thin slices of lemon. I just might have to try this out on the next chilly day. By the late 1960s, the drink had made such a huge impact, the Beatles even tried to name their album Dr. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. But after Paul McCartney was informed that Dr. Pepper was trademarked, they changed the album's name to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. John Lennon even loved the drink so much that he would have crates of Dr. Pepper shipped to him in the UK, as it was not yet available internationally. He claimed he needed the drink to fuel his creativity. But it wasn't until the 1970s when we got a dose of one of the most iconic and catchy ad campaigns yet, the Be a Pepper campaign. This 1977 commercial featuring David Naughton is definitely one of the more unforgettable ones throughout the years.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper. If you drink Dr. Pepper, you're a pepper too. Be a pepper, drink Dr. Pepper. Be a pepper.
The Be a Pepper ad campaign reached its height in 1980 as the third most popular campaign in the country. It was so successful, JCPenney would announce that 1,800 of its stores would offer clothing and accessory items featuring the I'm a Pepper logo. The Be a Pepper theme officially came to an end in 1983 when the slogan was changed to Dr. Pepper made a pepper out of me.
It's gonna be a home run. It's gonna be a grand slam. It's fantastic. It's terrific. What originality. Welcome to the big league, kid. Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper. Your taste made a pepper out of me. He's a pepper. I'm a pepper. Dr. Pepper made a pepper out of me.
In 1984, the Dr. Pepper Company was purchased by Forsman Little & Co. for $615 million. Coca-Cola then tried to purchase the company in 1986 for $470 million, but in late July, a federal judge blocked the sale, citing a monopoly as cause for concern. A few months later, an investment bank called Hicks and Haas successfully purchased Dr. Pepper for $416 million. Hicks and Haas then bought 7-Up and merged the two products, creating one company, Dr. Pepper 7-Up. The 1980s was an eventful decade for the Dr. Pepper brand.
Dr. Pepper, just what the doctor ordered.
The 90s started off strong with the Dr. Pepper Museum opening in 1991. It's located in the old downtown Waco bottling facility and features 3 floors of awesome Dr. Pepper history. It even has a replica of Morrison's Old Corner drugstore inside of the museum, as well as the original 27-foot deep water well that the factory workers used for production of the Dr. Pepper. Hicks and Haas then went public on the stock market with Dr. Pepper 7-Up in 1993, but were bought out completely in 1995 by Cadbury Schweppes for $1.7 billion, putting them at a 16% market share of the entire soft drink industry. Third behind Pepsi at 32% market share, and Coca-Cola at a 41% market share. The new millennium brought in some interesting changes to the company. In 2000, Cadbury Schweppes purchased Snapple, RC Cola, and Diet Right for $1.45 billion, which they then merged with Dr. Pepper 7-Up in 2008 to create the Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. A whole 10 years would pass before in 2018, Dr. Pepper's Snapple Group would then be purchased by Keurig, the leading brand name in single-serve coffee, for a staggering $18.7 billion. To this day, Dr. Pepper still sits in third place behind Pepsi and Coca-Cola in terms of market share and popularity, but keep being a pepper and this may change someday, as Dr. Pepper has consistently been growing at a steady pace for over 135 years. It may rank third in market share, but it sits at the #1 spot as the oldest soft drink in the US that is still in production to this day.